Hi everyone, Sean back from the Sci-Fi Model Guy, and welcome to the fourth and final installment of the Battlestar Galactica full build series from Monogram. She's right here next to me and all completed, and I can't say that I could be any happier than I am. This really turned out very well, and I'm thrilled with the build and everything that I learned here, and we're going to go through all that in this video. So very short intro in that regard, and we're going to get right to the video, except for this one mention is remember, folks, we will be doing the giveaway of the USS Enterprise 650 scale model once we hit 1,000 subs. And I've got the ship right here in front of me. So once we hit 1,000 subs, whoever is the lucky winner from that will get this build, and we'll have a couple live streams of me building it, and it will be built to your specifications as far as the lighting scheme and the name and registry number and all that. So remember to hit hashtag Enterprise. We'll put that right there on the screen to you enter for your chance to win this. Now, you do not have to be a subscriber to win. However, we are at about a little over 800 subscribers at the time of this filming. So once we hit that 1,000 and it sticks for a week or so, we'll get this. We'll get that drawing done and out to you. And you only have to enter that one time, multiple entries. I'm just capturing each name once. We'll make sure that everyone's got a fair shake. So that's it. I can't wait to build this one for you guys. So that's it, everyone. Very short intro. We're not going to be doing any viewer submissions today because it's kind of a reveal video and we want to do the concentration on that. But we will have viewer mail on the next build series, which is coming out. Still haven't decided what model to build for that. I might throw up a poll and see what you guys want to see. And I'll be pre-recording a couple of videos for that because I'll be going out of town for a little bit of time. I want to have some videos ready for you. So it's going to be a busy week for me. And that's it, everyone. So have a great day wherever you are, and we will see you down the road. Well, welcome back, everyone. So we're back here in the garage, and I've got the door open here, and it's a nice, beautiful day out. So you might be hearing a few birds chirping, or a car driving by, or a lawnmower, or something like that. So yeah, I've got the window open for a couple of reasons. One, just because it's a gorgeous day outside, and the other one is because we're going to be applying the Tamiya panel line. So It has taken a few days more to begin this process than I anticipated because I did a test on the panel line color that I had, and I realized it was dark gray. So needed to order regular gray panel line color, which it just came today. And I've already begun doing the well, actually, I did the bottom of the ship, but well, actually, why don't we just show that here? So I'm going to flip it over, and this is how she looks. Now, you could probably tell a noticeable difference between this and this. And this is to accentuate, just I'm leaving it like this right now. I wanted to show the contrast here. So I'm going to flip it over again. And so all this has been done. And I did notice a couple things. I did have a little bit of putty work that I should have done here. So I think I'm going to do that after everything's said and done. But I definitely want to take a moment and thank the kind person who suggested the gray color line. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to put their name up here on the screen right now because I don't have it offhand memorized. So I'm going to make sure to research that. And I give you, kind modeler, a hearty thank you. It really helps. Like I've said a million times, I am learning on this channel as much as anybody. And anytime somebody presents a solution or a suggestion, we all benefit. And I sincerely thank you. And please, if anyone else has suggestions or anything, by all means, please share them, not just with me, but for everyone out there. Anyway, and then there was another person, I don't know if it's the same person who said to make sure to get the clear coat on the model before you start the panel line work. So now that, you know, I've had time to work and do some things on the bottom here, it's all done. Picked up, you know, the things that I learned from it. So we're going to share all that right now. So let's flip it over. And I want to start off just by talking a little bit about what kind of things we're going to use here. So obviously we have the panel line liquid or the paint, and I just make sure we keep that shaken up and everything. So it's a nice new bottle, but every so often I'll screw the top back on and reshake it. Next thing to talk about here, obviously, is a paper towel, or a blue towel, I guess that these are called. And so that's just to help wipe off some of the excess here. And then we've got a couple different kinds of Q-tips or cotton buds, cotton swabs. These are the small, very kind of hard tip ones. It's having a hard time focusing here. Sorry. There we go. So these are nice and hard, and they don't leave any fibers behind, which they're really nice. And they've got this sharp point here, which is really good to get into some of the crevices here to do some special cleanup. And then, of course, just some regular size cotton swabs. And you can see here I've got some that were used. Now, these are kind of generally what I use. I didn't have to use these very much, and thankfully, because I don't have many left, I'm gonna have to get some more next time I'm at the model shop. So I'm gonna go ahead and just demonstrate the little techniques that I picked up and learned. Most of which is I'm using to use gravity to my advantage. So I'm just going to get a regular can of paint here, just a red one. I'm going to prop it up behind here, so it's kind of hard to see from this angle, but the ship is at an angle now. And so I'm going to go ahead and start here and just do all these parts and let gravity pull this panel line down, the panel line accent. I also, when I started doing this, I was doing it very carefully, and trying to be, didn't want to smudge it, didn't want to get it everywhere. And then I realized I didn't really need to do that for a few reasons here. So one thing to point out, if you haven't used this stuff before, it kind of sucks up into there like a little straw. It's almost like if you ever take your finger on the top of a straw and you kind of go up and down on it, and you can put your finger over the top and draw some liquid out. It's kind of how this works. So it is in here. I don't know if you can see it, but you can kind of see there's some liquid up in this little hollow tube. And when you touch it down on there, it releases some. And you'll see that when we start painting it. And so we're going to do that and let gravity use this stuff to run down. And now this stuff is great because it kind of finds its own way. It finds all the crevices and stuff. And we're going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to, first of all, let me move this a little. And there we go. Okay. Sorry about that. All right, so now we've got this nice little area here. So I'm going to shake up the can some more, or the bottle. Now I've got it in here. Now all I'm going to do is just touch it. When I touch it, maybe I didn't get enough in there. And when I want to apply some in there, I just kind of go like that. And it seems to do a pretty good job. So there we go. So now I'm letting it go, really get in there. And at first I was afraid to do this, thinking I was going to, get all this stuff all over the bottle. But then it turns out that clear coat, which is the suggestion that was given, really helps take care of that. So I can kind of be a little sloppy doing this. I was really worried about it at first. So I'm really letting it go here. Now, I could be a little bit more careful just to not waste all this stuff. But there's quite a bit in this bottle, and I'm not anticipating having to use too much of this very often. So, okay, I'm going to do that. Now I'm just going to zoom out here a little so you can see. Now I'm just going to first thing take my blue towel and just dab it. I'm not wiping it. I'm just dabbing it on there just to kind of get the big parts of it. They're the big puddles. I don't want to push too hard. Now I'm going to zoom back in here. Now you can see right here in this area there's a little bit of extra. So for that, just going to take my clear one. I don't know where I did. There it is. Not my clear one, my clean one. And Let me make sure I have it there. There it is. Okay, so I'm just going to take this and just lightly put it in there. And you can scrub it, and then I can also take the regular one and again just touch it, and then after I touch it a little bit, give it a little bit of a wipe. And yes, that does leave some residual stuff on the model, but remember, we painted this a white color. The ship really is supposed to be kind of gray, and so with the combination of this just kind of being smeared down there, spread out evenly, it does darken the tone of the paint a little bit. But we also had the clear coat that we put on there, which helps darken it down a little bit. So as you can see here, so we've got all these nice little things that look more like shadows now, and it really brings these things out. So let's zoom out a little bit more. I'm going to reposition this a little bit just so you can kind of see this happening in real time. So I'm going to do the next leg here. Again, I'm just letting it do it. And when you kind of dab it down, when you hear that, I'm just going like this to reload it. Now sometimes it does come out like a big pool, but that's okay. This stuff really picks up nice with the paper towels and stuff, again, because of that clear coat is on there, so you don't have to worry about it smudging. This stuff is very thinned out paint. In fact, it's actually another benefit of having the door open right now, because the fumes coming out of here are mighty strong, and I'm glad I have the door open, because it's getting, I don't want to hurt myself with any fumes or anything. Now I'm probably going a little bit overboard right here. I'm going to get some over here. All right. Oh, might as well just do the front there. So now you notice, because I have the ship on an angle here, so that is helping. You can see it's pulling up down here a little bit. I don't know if, yeah, you can see it. And when I was doing the back side of it, or the underside, I noticed it helped when I would turn the ship to the other side and let gravity take it the other way. So I'm getting, it's hitting the top parts of this really nicely. And when I turn it around the other way, it kind of finished the job, so we had a nice effect on all sides of it. So just giving this a little rub down here, and hopefully you can see the difference here. You can see, I can definitely see it, when you look at one side and versus another. Let's zoom out. So there we go. We've got one landing bay more or less completed. I'll finish it up here with the camera zoomed out. And where this stuff really stands out is when you do these little pipes, like here, and it gets down in there, and that really adds the depth in these tiny details. But you just got to make sure that you don't let it pool up somewhere that is a little bit too unrealistic. If you let it pool up too much, it doesn't look quite like a shadow. It looks like a pool of stuff. So again, I'm probably going a little bit too fast right now. I don't want to get too confident doing this stuff and put too much all over, and then it turns out to dry up on me. But I anticipate if it did dry up a little bit, all you'd have to really do is apply some new, a fresh coat of this stuff, and then it would probably loosen it up. Similar to how, I don't know if you're familiar with the whiteboards with magic markers, or the, those Expo markers. Sometimes if you leave some of that marker stuff on those whiteboards for too long, it's really hard to erase it. You spray it down with the solution and everything, and it becomes really difficult to take off. And then one of the secrets I learned was, actually, if you just take the same marker, or the same brand, it could be a different color, and you just write over where it won't come off, that marker solution itself loosens what's underneath and then it comes right off. So it's probably something similar with this because there's so much paint thinner in this solution. It's more thinner than paint. And there we go. So that's kind of it. I'm going to go ahead and keep working here. I'm going to do all these sides here and down here, let gravity pull it down. I'll do the top here this way and let it come down. Then I'll turn the ship around and do it the other way so I can get the other sides of the, these little pieces with the solution. And then that will be it. So that's pretty much it. After that, we're going to apply the decal. Well, I'll let this dry. Put it next to a fan for a while, let it dry some, put another clear coat on top to seal that in. And then we'll be putting the decals on. So there's not many of them. We just have the word Galactica here on the 2 landing bays, a little circle here, and then there's some stripes here that we'll talk about when I apply those. I will film that, and then after that we will have the final reveal, sans the display case. I'm still wondering if I'm going to build a display wooden thing for it, but that would take too much time, and I want to get this video posted for you so we can get on to the next project. All right, everyone, so we'll see you in a moment, and we'll be right back. Okay, everyone, so the panel lining is all put on, and I've gone ahead and put the clear coat on there, and it's all nice and dry. But before we go any further here, one of the things that did kind of occur to me was that the panel lining we did is actually kind of turned into more of a wash, which is a thing I kind of forgot about with modeling. Usually when you do military vehicles or airplanes or stuff, you put a wash over it, and that kind of helps to darken it a little bit, give it a little bit of texture and all that kind of stuff. So basically, that's what we did here with the panel lining. It turned into more of a wash, just putting it everywhere, kind of slopping it on and then wiping it down. And as you can see here, or hopefully as you can see here, the shading of the ship has darkened or deepened somewhat, partially because we just have the nice dark, the gray here in these little recessed areas here to give it kind of a shadow look, but also because the wash was put over here and wiped on. So it did put just the slightest bit of gray over everything. So this makes me really happy, and I'm pretty sure I made the right decision with painting this with an insignia white, anticipating that it would darken as we move forward in the process. Now, I didn't think about the wash or the panel lining going over everything. When I originally started, I was just thinking of getting it in the tiny areas, not painting it everywhere and wiping it down. But it did work out nicely, so I'm very satisfied with that. So after that, the only other thing that I kind of did here, I did put a little bit of putty here. There was these little gaps in this piece. And actually, looking back on the final assembly of this kit, I totally forgot about these 2 little pieces that go here. It was just a flat piece of model, and then I thought it kind of like, they missed something, and then I forgot, there's these 2 pieces. So I glued them, and I did a light test a little bit ago, and there was just a sliver, little bit of a light leak coming through here, and I got some underneath here. So when all that's said and done, I'm just going to grab I've got so many grays up here. These to me is I'll just kind of grab one, maybe. This is way too dark, but I've got plenty of, light grays here that I'll just get in a little brush and just line over that a little bit, and we won't even see that hopefully anyway, but it's not very big. Anyway, super happy with the way this has turned out. And I can't wait to get it lit up and on display here in the shop, or in the house if I'm allowed. Okay, so now we're going to put on some decals here, and here is the printout that we did earlier. We've already talked about this in the first video. So I've gone ahead and cut out the little circle there. And looking at it, this red is a little bit too much of a red. I should have gotten more of a maroon, but it's going to be what it is. And then here I've got the Galactica here. Now, over here, this is the color I really should have gone. If you look here, it's a little bit, you know, this is more of like a stop sign red. This is more of a darker maroon or burgundy maybe. So I just printed out these. This is a whole bunch. But like I said, I normally don't, you know, once you print on this stuff, that's it. You know, you only get one chance to print on these papers. So I just went ahead and printed a whole bunch of these little strips. So who knows if I could use them later on. I always save these things. So we're going to be putting that in a couple spots here on the ship. So before we do that, though, I just wanted to record the process here in case some of you may not have seen this before. So I'm going to get my little towel here, and we'll zoom in and we'll just show kind of how I apply these decals. So I'm aiming to print. Oh, let me double check here real quick to make sure I'm getting this on the right part. And it is on the front one. That's correct. So yeah, I wasn't sure if I had to put the circle here or here, but it's going there. All right. So first thing to do is I put my stuff in the bowl, and I'm going to squirt some water in there. You don't need very much. I used to just fill a little one of these bowls with water and then let them float in there, and I found that you don't really need to do that. So I'm gonna zoom out some here. Now what I do, I'm gonna get my finger, a little bit of water on my finger, and just kind of rub it there, just to lay down a little bit of water. Now we're going to get the decal here. It shouldn't take too much to get it to come off of these. There it is. It's sliding off already. Well, that kind of came. It's a white backing. I don't think I like that at all. Yeah. Not caring for that. So I'm going to have to come up with something else to do. That's just, I thought this stuff was see-through. I guess it's a white backing. All right. Well, let's hope the Galactica works. I doubt it will. It's probably not going to look good. Let's move this up here. Now, if this doesn't look good, and I'm thinking it won't because it's white, I need to get transparent. Yeah, sure as heck, it's white. So we're going to scrap that idea. I'll order some. I still have the template that I did on the Vector graphics program. I use Corel Vector. If anyone's interested, it's pretty decent price, $60 a year or something like that, and relatively easy to use. So that's not going to work. Okay, no problem. We move forward, don't we? All right, so I'm going to prop the ship up like this. Now, this area here, right there, I'm going to bring it up. That little rectangle or trapezoid looking thing there and there, they get some of this stripping. But if you notice here, there's an angle to it. So if I hold it up like this, you can see it's kind of at an angle there, and it's straight 90 degrees there. So what I'm going to do is, to get this cut in the right way, I'm going to try to eyeball it here a little bit. So I'm going to hold the decal sheet here parallel to the straight lines down here. And I'm going to use the scissors and just try to keep the scissor on this angle. And let's see if I can't eyeball. I've got plenty of them here. So if I mess up, it's not a big problem. Okay. Just gonna. Now this is fine. It has the white backing because it's a solid color. Let's see. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So I just need to cut straight as I can and try to get all the edge off. There's one side. There's another. And whoops. Now I can just put the shit back down here. And I'll just use the X-Acto knife here to kind of crease it where I know I want to cut. Good. And I'll just do a little quick test there. Let's see. Well, I cut a little too much off. That's okay. So that is the basic idea there. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to get this cut the right way and put those on here. And then there's some other pieces that just go around here that I just need to cut them at an angle as well. Same philosophy. So we're going to quit the camera here and those will get put on, and then we'll have the final reveal sans the circle and the Galactica there until we can order some more paper. But we're not going to delay the video for that little piece. So stay tuned for the final reveal, everybody. Okay, everyone. Well, we've got the decals on that we could. As you saw from the last session there, we weren't able to put the Galactica or that little red circle up on the top because the decal paper that we had is not transparent. So went ahead and just found some on Amazon, ordered that right now. But it's going to take a few days to get here and then to clear coat that and print it and all that stuff. So you know, we haven't had a video up for a week, so I just decided to do the final reveal here, and we're just going to have to use our imaginations and imagine that Galactica symbol there. So it's just 3 decals that we're talking about. So yeah, here she is, everyone. A model from 1979 is now complete and built as it was intended, and I must say, I'm very happy with this. This is going to be a nice piece for my personal collection. I normally don't hold on to models like these. I generally give them away to somebody. But this one I'm keeping because it just means a lot to me. This ship is, it's one of those vehicles from shows that actually was almost like a character in itself, like the Van from the A-Team or the General Lee or Kit from Knight Rider, which was literally a character. But the Galactica there's something about it, and maybe because it looks like an animal, maybe because it looks like legs, like something is crawling. I don't know what it is, but it really is, in my opinion, one of the coolest ships in all of science fiction. And I was very happy to build this, and I'm happy with the way it came out. So as we said in the last section as well, the choice to go with the insignia white, I think was the right one. And again, I wasn't anticipating the panel lining to become a wash over the whole model, but it basically did, and it did serve to darken it a little bit. And then when we put the other clear coat on top of that, it darkened it a little bit more. So if you are building this one alongside, or if you found one, I know that the video here showing is a little bit on the yellowish side because the way we have the lights here in the shop. I would definitely recommend going with insignia white and then doing the wash like we did here. So I'll just point out the couple of decals that I was able to put on here. I'll zoom in So we got these guys here in the front. It's just two little red marks right there. And I cut those with scissors and get them to fit more or less. And then the ones over here, there's a little bit of a nick in the paint there and the sticker. I'm okay with that. And then there's some over here. And in a way, I almost served to weather it a little bit. So I'm okay with the way it turned out. It didn't need to be pristine like the ship just came off the assembly line. In fact, I think in the show, they had a little bit of weathering on there, if I'm not mistaken. But be that as it may, I think it looks cool. It's very minimal. I think the color came out just right. And I did that by just found a picture of the Galactica online and just did a like the eyedropper tool where you just grab the color from there, and it came out good. All right, so I'll go ahead and turn on the lights here. And you can't see much, but we will be going to go into like the dark mode. I'll turn off most of the lights here in the shop, but I just wanted to kind of go over it here real quick. All the lights are coming through really nicely. And we've got the nice engine, the back here, and we'll just spin this around a little bit so you can just see all the sides here. And then when I turn off the lights here, I'll take the phone or the camera phone off of the stand here, and we'll get a closer look and pan it around. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'm super happy that this ship has been built. It's almost like restoring something. I have a good feeling about, like bringing something to life. And hopefully this will stick around for a lot of years. All right. Well, with that out of the way, I will do a little transition here, get the lights off, and we'll come right back and do some little close-ups with the lights down. So stand by. Okay, everyone. So I've got the camera off of the stand, and the microphone is unplugged as well, so the sound might be a little bit different. And we're gonna start by just rotating her around a little bit. It's a really nice light level here that we have for this to get in. Yeah, so some of those lights come through really bright on this lens here when I get them at the right angle like that. So it doesn't come out like that in real life. Someone had made a comment before about these things looking like a Christmas tree online, and that's just an effect of the phone. So if you're doing this at home, you definitely won't see these bright lights like you do here. So we're going to pan it around here, and we'll look at the engines in the low light. I really like this effect on the camera, and even in person, it's very bright here. The camera does add some brightness to it, but it's really bright and nice. We'll do a zoom in here of the landing bay. I can get that looking good. So it's not perfect, but it's in there, and I like a little bit of the orange glow. Maybe we can look at this one a little nicer. So like coming from about this distance here, you can kind of tell what's going on in there. It does have some depth to it. There's some detail going on. Sorry, I'm shaking my hand here. There's some detail happening. And there's a fly buzzing me. So yeah, really not a whole lot to say that hasn't already been said. But this has been a really fun project to do, and I'm really happy with it. It's going to go right on my shelf. I just do have to build a little stand for it. This is just plugged directly into the power supply over here, so right there, and I got some wires headed to it. So the this switch doesn't do anything. It's an older display base I just wanted for this purpose. But yeah, really cool, really cool. I'm just glad I built this, and it's kind of one I've scratched off my list. I've been wanting to do this for years, and it's going to look really nice. So I hope you have enjoyed this little build here that we've had. It's not super complicated, but I did learn some things, and I want to thank the viewer out there who gave the tip on using that gray for the panel line. That was the absolute best advice for the ship. So I thank you for being out there and suggesting that to me. And again, I'll go back on the comments and get that name popped up. So really appreciate it. And all the comments and everyone has given, and you are all a big encouragement for me. and I'm glad that we got this one done. So let's do a pan out here for a little bit of thumbnail. Well, I'll put the I have a little cardboard background I'll put up there and get a thumbnail shot for this. So yeah, everyone. Oh yeah, this is the last little thing. So there's the you can kind of see in there. If you angle the thing right, you can kind of see into the landing bay. But head on, you don't really see it. So okay, yeah, that's it for now, everyone. Thanks. Remember, #Enterprise for the giveaway of the ship there, and we'll see you down the road, everyone. Take care.